Well, holy bananas. No end to this learning journey. That's right, there isn't. Hello there, I'm Christopher Dahl, and today we're going to speak about hybrid picking. Hybrid picking is freaking awesome because it feels like a very modern technique. It's used by so many great players these days, but it's also the perfect combination between pick and fingers, and it gives you the best of two worlds. And it's just too good to live without. And it's definitely, if you're going to learn one new technique this year, it should be this one. I use it all the time. I couldn't live without it. So we just have to wait another 19 minutes and we'll be rocking. And if you're watching the replay, you can just fast forward and we'll start the lesson. Until then, I'm going to be warming up a little bit so that I can actually both show you stuff and hopefully inspire you along the way. So let's go for it. Thank you, Ladder Filter from Instagram. You're hearing me playing the clean channel of my Mesa Boogie tube amp, and I have a tube screamer and a Friedman BEOD in the chain. So that's what gives the distortion. Without them, it would just sound like this. Borello, what's up? So if I add the Friedman BOD, and if I add the tube screamer, cool question there from Instagram by Jelski. What picking did I learn first? Was it alternate picking or economy picking? So I would like to say that I learned one of them first, but the truth is that I did a sorry mix of everything. It was pretty unstructured, and I thought that I had come up with some kind of genius move when I started practicing economy picking. But these days I realize that economy picking has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages. One of them being rhythm. It doesn't carry rhythm as natural as the alternate picking. So economy picking has this disruption in it, which is fine if you're prioritizing speed, but it kind of sucks if you're starting out. So I would say start with alternate picking. That's what I wish I had done, and then you can learn economy picking. That's right, Monfared Said. We won't speaking about Iran. Free the people of Iran and get rid of your horrible dictators. We don't want them. Nobody wants them. Okay, so let's do it. Dead Man's Wife on YouTube, what's up? That's right. This Islamic regime in Iran is just a bunch of murderers, selfish dictators. Please get rid of them. You have our support. Carlo on Facebook, what's up? I think levels are maybe a little bit loud. Let me just bring it down a little bit. I hope this isn't distorting for you guys. Let me know if the levels are too loud. Okay, so Andre is asking about a Floyd Rose guitar. How do you, it's hard to tune it up. And yes, it's a chapter on its own. I would have to dedicate a whole topic on that. And I wouldn't be the right man to do it because I also find it a little bit tricky. But the good thing is there are lots of tutorials out there. So I would suggest carefully devoting the time to learn it, because if you don't, it's going to give you issues, especially if it's not an original Floyd Rose, then might give you even more issues. And that's when you really do a little bit of research. It's worth investing an hour of watching some tutorials so you can get your guitar in tune. Good thing to be able to play with the left hand because you can manage the computer at the same time. Out, bending out of tune it. Thank you, Victoire. So Ziggy, we're going to have a lesson very soon in 10 minutes. Stay tuned. Andre from Facebook, what's up? So you can already see I am starting to include some hybrid picking in my playing. That's the topic of the day, so do check out my right hand as I'm warming up for this lesson. Andre, what pizza did you order? Ouch. Classica. I'm getting hungry now. Sounds like a good pizza. How are you doing, man? Is that how I pronounce it? Are you French, by the way? Yes, the Islamic regime in Iran is brutal, murdering its own citizens. I just wish they can go to hell as fast as possible. So Victoire, if you want to learn more, you just have to wait another 5 minutes and the lesson will start. Stay tuned. Oh, I'm streaming Yazlix on YouTube. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Thank you, Victoire. Just warming up for the lesson. Yes, Licks, today a classical guitar is gonna work perfect for this topic, so just stay tuned another 3 minutes. Oh, Michael, did your guitar break? Sorry to hear that. How did it break? Victoire, if you want to get in contact with me, you can do it via my website, christopherdahl.com. There should be a link somewhere here. If you go to my profile, my bio is the word. Oh, Michael, so your pickup broke. That's unfortunate. So do you have another pickup that works, or did you only have one pickup on the guitar? Always scares the freaking shit out of me. But here we go. The lesson has now officially started. And lots of good news today, because not only is Jas Licks gonna be able to play this on his acoustic guitar, but as a beginner, you should be able to benefit from this lesson as well. Because hybrid picking, although it does sound like something complex, hybrid picking is actually one of the most natural things you can do. In other words, use the fingers that are hanging here anyway. So why would you just use the pick when you have your fingers here? In fact, many of us start playing the guitar with the right hand fingers. So it makes a lot of sense that if you want to be able to use the pick, then why not use it in combination with the fingers? That is the basic principle of hybrid picking. That is what we're going to break down today. I'm going to give you examples, exercises, and show you basically in which scale we're playing this. So, as you can see on top of me here is a B minor pentatonic box. That's a good starting point. But before we even try to play hybrid picking in this box, there is a little bit to be said about the actual motion. So, when we hybrid pick, the whole idea is to utilize the fact that when let's say I'm playing the 9th fret on the D string, when I pick that note, it is super convenient for me to pretty much while I do so, prepare for the next note. That might sound fancy, but if you think about it, you could just rest your middle finger on the G string while you pick the D string, and that will make it super easy to play the D string and then the G string. So as you might be noticing, I'm playing the notes from the scale just above my head now. So 9 on the D string and 7 on the G string. Okay, but at this point, is usually where people encounter problem immediately. And that has to do with the fact that, yeah, it's kind of hard to pick and use a finger. Why is that? Well, if we look at the picking motion, we might get an answer. So when I'm picking, or rather when I'm hybrid picking, so using both the pick and the finger, my picking movement is rather small. If you look at it, hey, I'm not even moving the wrist. Can you see that? I'm just moving the thumb joint. I'm not moving the wrist. One more time. So you should be thinking, could this somehow relate to hybrid picking, the fact that Chris is not moving the wrist? And you'd be right. It certainly does. Because if you think about it, if I pick one note and then I sort of throw my whole wrist like 5 centimeters away, how is it handy to use the hybrid finger? It's not. You've wasted your opportunity. You picked and you're far away from the strings. So the number one rule is to use a super small thumb joint picking movement. Otherwise, you will not be able to hybrid pick. That's the number one rule. And that's usually where people fail. This shouldn't be a difficult technique unless your picking movement is big. So fix your picking movement. And how do you do that? Well, we gotta force ourselves to practice a small picking movement. So if you're used to generating your picking with this movement or with the arm movement, then we need to physically stop you from doing that. And since I cannot fly to you and hold your freaking arm, I'm gonna give you the next best thing, which is to rest your fingers like this. It's also referred to as anchoring. It's not always a good idea, but for now, it certainly is. Okay, so we rest the fingers here, and we try to pick any note. Why not choose that 9th fret D string? So again, you're resting the fingers, so you're physically not able to do this. You rest the fingers, and you have to generate the movement from that thumb joint, okay? So check it out. I can't do this because I'm holding my fingers like that, and I can't move the wrist. It's genius in its simplicity. Okay, so you're resting your fingers, you are picking a note. So you are now effectively using a super small picking movement, which will allow you to start using your hybrid finger again, or as well. It's a bit of a difference there. Oh, is something on fire here? I see red meters all over the place. Ho, 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 where are the red? Oh, it seems I might be distorting a little bit here. Let me do this. Are we better? Ho, 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 ho. I think we're a little bit better. I hope that didn't sound too horrible to you guys. Okay. Oh, Yazlix is already doing it. Awesome. Is anybody else having success with this? Anchoring your fingers and then picking. If you're managing to do this, you've taken your first very important step to not only dramatically improving your picking technique, but also to actually playing the topic of the day. So very cool, Yazlix. I'm very happy for you, man. But we're still not hybrid picking. This is just a preparation. Now that you know not to do a super big movement, what we're gonna do is try to combine the pick playing on the D string, that small movement, and the ring finger playing on the G string 7th fret, okay? So in order to prepare yourself, why don't you just try playing that G string and then pick? Okay, so can you just play the G string? Now remember, it's not like a nail thing. You don't need nails, and from my perspective, the nails should not be involved. It's completely a flesh thing. And that's kind of the point with this technique. The reason it sounds so warm is because you're not attacking the string with a hard part, you're attacking it with the soft flesh part of the finger. Okay, so we're picking the 9th fret D string, pick, and then we're plucking with a finger the 7th fret G string. And that means we're playing this scale, which is on top of my head here, the B minor pentatonic scale. Now I'm super exaggerating this movement. The same is actually true for the plucking. We wanna use a small motion. It's always more effective, and if you wanna be able to get to the higher speeds, you need small movements. So start thinking about that right away, small movements. Okay, so the first thing you would practice is just going back and forth. This is gonna be your biggest challenge. As soon as that works out like this, you are ready for more advanced stuff. Now, if you are plugged into an amp and maybe even some distortion like I am now, you will notice that these two notes are actually ringing at the same time. It's okay, it does sound a little bit better with a clean tone. So what I like to do, and this is advanced stuff, but I'm still mentioning to you now. Yazlix, you can't go fast because of high action. It shouldn't matter, right? The action shouldn't matter because at this stage, we're only pressing the 2 frets. You're not doing anything else. So whether your action is up here or whether it's down there, you can still just press the 9th fret and the 7th fret and keep your fingers there. So action out of the way, just keep your fingers there and then try to, like that. That's going to be the first step. Of course, you know, the advanced stuff is probably going to be simpler if you have like an electric guitar with great action, for sure. But no worries, we're not even, touching upon that here. We're just trying to practice going between these 2 strings using pick and fingers. That's all we're trying to achieve. So pick, finger, pick, finger, pick, finger. And I'm using the 9th fret D string and the 7th fret G string. Now, if you want to be a little bit more advanced, and again, if you're playing with a high gain sound, then what you can do is release the left hand finger a little bit after each strike. And that's going to give you this more defined kind of sound and less of like a chordal sound. And neither of them is better than the other. They just produce different sounds. And if I'm going for like a lead, then a lot of times I don't want several notes ringing at the same time. So I want like 2 separate notes there. So if you want to get that effect, then you're going to have to slightly release the finger after having plucked it. So I'm exaggerating here. It's really not something you should be able to see when being done. So you can probably not see that I'm releasing my finger. It's hard to see, but it's being done because otherwise it would sound like this. Okay, so I'm slightly releasing the finger, and then I'm pressing it again as I play the note one more time, and then I just repeat like that. So pick, release, pluck, release. Pick, release, pluck, release. And this is your first exercise. Now, as soon as you can do it somewhat continuous, and you shouldn't be playing it fast, because if you play it fast, it's probably going to sound like this. We don't want that. We want something even and controlled like this. Because if you can play that way, you can actually start practicing it with a metronome, for example. Now let me see, maybe I should show you, I'm going to show you the metronome on the site here actually. So I'm going to turn up the volume of Chrome a little bit, and I think we have a metronome somewhere here. Yeah, you can hear that, fantastic. So if you want to use this, just go to the guitarmasterclass.net site and click Tools. So let's slow it down a little bit. Dee, 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 dee. This is kind of basic, but it's super useful. Here's your practicing. Just got to double check that you can hear the same thing as me. I think you can. I don't know if it's super loud. Let me know if it's horrible. I can't really hear the exact same thing as you. But hopefully you get the point here. Now, this is pretty fast if you're new to this. So you might want to go down even further. Maybe 75. Exactly, Michael. Good point there. You can mute as well. That's another way to gain control of these notes. So if I didn't want to lift the fingers, I could mute with my right hand, like that. And muted hybrid picking can be very cool as well. That's what I'm doing with these fancy rides. This is muted stuff. But that's too much for today. Let's go back. Again, I'm just playing 9 on the D string and 7 on the G string. Okay, very cool. Let's now go back to our scale here, and I'm just going to fast forward time. I'm just going to assume that you've now been practicing this for at least a couple of weeks. So you're ready for the next step. And that would be to start using this technique in a more sophisticated context. Basically, viewing what we did now as one small pattern and then try to repeat that pattern. So I think the easiest application, and that is one you might be able to try right away if you're a little bit used to lead guitar playing, it's this kind of thing. Now, all of a sudden, I'm not playing it evenly anymore, but that's okay because we're adding this slide effect. So we're going to slide into the 9th fret, and then we're going to play the 7th fret as usual, and we're going to slide back. And what we're doing is not only getting that cool slide effect, but we're actually positioning our finger or hand to restart with the slide again. So check this out. Slide, pluck, slide back, and slide in. Now, of course, I am picking the very first note somewhere down here. I think I might have started on the 3rd fret, but it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that you're starting that slide somewhere below the target note. So, for example, the 3rd fret, or if you want to make it easy on yourself, the 5th fret. Or, sorry, the 7th fret. So that's useful, and as soon as I start doing it in these positions, it gets very interesting. Let's go to A minor instead, yep, we have that position. Let's add some more positions here, so we can actually do this over the fretboard. That's what I did here. So I started here on the A note, the 7th fret D string, and I played A and I played C. That's pretty much the lick we did, except now I moved it down to A minor. And then I can do the same thing, but with the D and the E note, okay? So, sorry. With a sliding. And then I can do the same thing with the G and the A note, still keeping in that position. So, of course, when I do it on the top 2 strings, it's going to be a bigger stretch. So you might be noticing my fingers here now look like that. Okay? Whereas they looked like this in the beginning. So I'm now playing, well, it's called a minor third interval, just 3 frets apart, however you want to look at it. Okay. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you can then move up to the A and the C note. And as you can tell, we're getting advanced now. I still want to show you this stuff so you can sort of get a feel for how something simple can be reused and made sound really fancy, but I'm just reusing the same lick. Yeah, I actually went up to the A note there and the C note, and we can keep on going, but I think that's pretty much enough for now. It's already a big challenge. So if I practice that. And why not go into a blues lick there, so it sounds kind of cool. Okay, so I think that's more than enough to keep you busy now. Now, of course, I would recommend you do save this video and watch the replay because there are a lot of nuances here that are probably hard to get when you're both trying to listen to me and trying to play what I'm doing. But it's good fun and it's super useful. So what I'm gonna do now is actually practice a little bit using this hybrid picking technique so you can see the more advanced applications and you can get a sort of impression of where you can take this. It can be taken anywhere, to any level, and with pretty much any style of music and any speed and whatever. So thank you, Yaz Licks. It's hard. It might be hard with nylon strings, but it's doable. You can do it. Just keep it slowly and evenly. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna do a little bit of practicing. There we go. So practice for a couple of minutes there. This is all hybrid picking. Very cool. Okay, so Yazlix is already getting the hang of it. Awesome, man. Congratulations. It's all just a matter of practice, right? The more time we invest into something, the better we're going to get at it. There are some things that still matter, so you can fail even if you invest a lot of time in something. And that is usually when we're speaking about this kind of lead exercise, usually people push speed too fast and they're not playing evenly, or they're disregarding that the first milestone is to really start practicing with the metronome. If you never do that, you're not really gonna learn a new technique that can be applied to music, because music involves rhythm and timing. And if it kind of only follows your own fluctuations, you're not gonna be able to use it very, very much. Cool, you're doing good, Yaslix. Awesome, man. Very cool to hear. Just keep at it. Cool. So I'll just keep on practicing since we have such a good flow now. You guys also keep on practicing. Let me know how it works out. Oh, maybe some. Cool. So how is it going for you guys? Yazlik, still good though. Your fingers, do your fingers hurt? Is it the top or the end of the fingers? The fingertips is the word I was looking for. Then you're doing good. Those fingertips are gonna get hard. Sober slap. What I'm doing, what you just saw me do is just practicing. But if you do rewind the tape, you're going to find some very specific exercises to get your hybrid picking chops together. And we can already see Yazlik is having good progress there, so hopefully it can work for more people. These are very good exercises. Cool, Yazlik. So if your fingertips are sore, that's a good sign. You're working hard, and you just need to keep on going. You might feel a little pain, but the fingertips is pretty much the only place where it's okay to feel pain and keep on playing, because you're going to get those calluses. If you do feel pain anywhere else in your body or arms or hands, you should immediately stop playing and not start again until you're free from pain. Sorry, Dicky on Instagram, I don't know the Petrucci Barstool Warrior solo. Sorry, man. Is it like John Petrucci? Sounds like a fun title though, but I can't play it. Okay, let's practice some more now. I'm really getting into this. Cool, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. We had a blast here, I think, and really happy to see some progress here. We have Yaz Licks, who is applying these exercises in real time on his acoustic guitar, the high string action or a classical guitar, and still managing to move along with these exercises and make some progress. And you can do that too. So don't give up, just keep at it, and you'll be making some great guitar gains, and I can't wait to follow your journey. So thanks so much for tuning in. You've been absolutely fantastic, and I've been Chris Vidal.